what do you think about the rise of the trope of invincible ignorance? That's like the whole thing with Giga Chad, with racist text underneath it. This is my opinion. I'm based for thinking black people are inferior. That kind of thing. Like the idea that a bad take, if said very confidently, can be like a powerful rhetorical tool. Like Andrew Tate's like the living embodiment of this, The guy's like
Yeah,
a kickboxer. He looks,
yeah.
yeah.
It
And
really.
and and how can the left like co-opt this? Like I know we did like the OK Boomer thing. I think it's really interesting to see how this particular rhetorical device played out between the political wings.
I don't know if there's necessarily any countering it. I think the issue here is it goes back to like the stakes involved in any conversation. The original Virgin versus Chad memes were self-referentially aware of the fact that the Chad was absurd and ridiculous. Like the one with the Virgin walk versus the Chad walk, I really liked the original ones because originally the Chad, like all the stuff that Chad did was weird and psychotic. Like the Chad walk is he bumps into every person he sees. He has his arm out at long, distended angles so that he crowds as much space on the sidewalk as possible. He crosses 8 feet with every like stride. The idea is that he's so masculine and so self-absorbed that it's like a joke. Like it becomes a joke. But the problem is that over time, people have done the original satire has been lost. And now people just associate, like to me, in my mind, like the idea of posting a bad take with GigaChat underneath it is funny because the joke is that you're some kind of like self obsessed idiot blundering into a stupid take because your chiseled jawline and massive muscles have kind of insulated you from the idea that you might be wrong. Like to me, the joke is like it's kind of a self-deprecating thing, but a lot of people don't treat it that way. There's no irony. It's funny because all these people online call themselves irony bros, but there's no fucking irony to it. Like they just unironically have all the stupid takes. There's no there's nothing to it. They're
I mean, yeah, it's
sincerely that dumb.
it's absolutely crazy, and it doesn't just extend to just online culture memes and stuff. It's like people identifying with, I'm sure you've seen this like in incel communities and stuff, identifying with the Joker or Leonardo DiCaprio's character Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street.
I think it's
These
a
kinds of people represented in like film, television, who are like, giga chads, but they're like terrible people inside of their own shows.
I think it's important to understand that a lot of this stuff is being done by like 14-year-old white boys who have never talked to a woman and never touched grass, which probably also constitutes about 60% of the server. I'm looking at the AMA discussion chat right now and my feelings on this are being confirmed. Like you have to understand that a lot of this is from people who are legitimately so insecure and unaccomplished that the best approximation of confidence they can ever muster is just like posting a muscular guy and saying something stupid underneath it. And to them, that's confidence. That's the closest that they can get. Because the real confidence, which is having a real position, owning it, and defending it sincerely, the actual like metal of men who've built this world, like the fabric of society, people who are willing to sincerely adopt something and then defend it to their to their dying breath, that's beyond them. Because they're young and they're inexperienced, and they're quite cowardly. And a lot of them are going to grow out of it. Like a lot of that is kind of a temporal thing, but it is one of the great crimes of the internet is subjecting the rest of us to the eternal retardation of these people before they grow old enough to moderate their opinions somewhat.
Yeah, it's just disheartening when you try to genuinely put your opinion out there and someone responds with no, giga chad, no.
Well, it's just something. It's much in the same way I'm sure that the great philosophers in the Parthenon would occasionally have to deal with shit-faced children running by and flinging rocks at them. It's just part of engagement. It's unfortunate, but it's just part of life.